Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Straight out of the Scarlet Halls, I'm Slidewhistle.
I am Immunization.
And I'm Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag.
And we're here to talk about World of Warcraft stuff and other stuff we go on a tangent about randomly like we always do.
Wowzer Zowzer! You know what, gang? Before we start the show, I had a deep, intense shower thought today.
What was it?
So we've been doing this for now 71 episodes.
Uh-huh.
And actually, even more than that. Let's round it up and say 90 hours of content. Would you say that we are a World of Warcraft show that tells jokes, or a funny show that talks about World of Warcraft?
Are we funny?
Do we tell jokes?
Well, shit.
Do we talk about WoW?
Well, damn, I guess we don't do either of those. So I'll go back to thinking we're just a Hey Arnold podcast.
Oh my god. Remember when Grandpa thought he was dying and all of his grandparents and fathers, they all die on like their 80th birthday?
Every single one of us. 81.
I looked at your yearbook, Lou. You're only 80.
I'm pretty sure I've told this exact story on the podcast, but I just love the episode so much. And he looks at Oscar and he says, "Oh no, I've died. I must be in heaven. Oh no, you're here. This must be the other place." And Oscar's like, "Ha, Susie, make me a sandwich."
I can't pay you the money.
Oscar is the biggest piece of shit. I don't know why I love him so much.
He's entertaining, but he's definitely like the least likable character. I mean, like, he's just a bad person is what I'm trying to say. He's likable in the fact that he's entertaining.
You got to give it up to him, though, because he was holding it down for, like, vague Balkan Europeans and children's programming for so long.
If his voice actor were to, like, live stream video games and just do it in the Oscar Kokoschka voice, I would watch every single minute of that content.
Why did his wife stay with him?
Oh,
she had nowhere else to
sad.
do. She was caught in a struggling, emotionally abusive relationship. She didn't know how to get out.
The ultimate Oscar Kokoschka video game Twitch stream, though, would just be like, he turns it on, he's like, "I'm going to go get a sandwich." And then, like, he'd forget to mute it, and it would just be him going about his day for 5 hours at the start screen. Oh no, I forgot.
I love Oscar. Well, now that we got that sweet non-WoW intro out of the way, we can finally talk about the game we love to play, World of Warcraft. Immunization, what did you do in the World of Warcraft? It's me, Gary Busey.
Oh no, Gary, get out of here.
He's back. Gary Busey is back to listen to his favorite television program on the internet.
Oh no. Well, I'm just gonna ignore that and then say that I actually played a lot of WoW this week, and I finally got my cape to level 15.
Whoop whoop.
Which is a long
Claps,
time
claps,
coming.
claps.
Along those lines, I've also been doing All Doom and Veil again, which I had been letting slide for the last several weeks.
Slide was doing them? He was logging in on your character and doing them for you?
I'm pretty sure Slide has reliably been doing them since it came out, but not on my account.
I stopped doing those like a month ago. I hate them.
Yeah, they got kind of old. But I've also leveled up my rogue a little bit. I'm already up to level 70, like 71 on her, I believe, and it's just going so fast with this boost. And my ultimate goal is Lore Master, but I feel like all of Northrend, I'll finish like one region, and then I'll be high enough of a level to like go to the next place if I want. So I don't know how I'm going to deal with that.
And when you want to come back, you'll be like, "Wow, I'm 120 and I'm flying. This should be easy," and it's not.
So yeah, as we talked about in the last episode, I have these quests, and it's like, kill 25 things, loot 30 things, kill 15 things. It's so much, like, for every quest. I'm like, why?
That's Northrend. And then you go to Kata, and it immediately drops off to, like, I don't know, find me 2 coconuts. They're by your feet. Oh, wow, you found them.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
So random.
So quirky and carefree. Just like those mythics that we four-manned.
Oh.
Ooh, what an
We did do
adventure.
that.
Yeah, so the three of us and Cubby Bub ran some weekly mythics, like Mythic Zeros, but we were able to 4-man them, which is kind of cool to do at this point.
Excuse me, one of them was a woman.
Yeah, we 4-personed them.
Thank you.
That just makes it seem dirtier. Yeah, we totally went in there and we 4-personed them.
Yeah, it's me, Gary Busey.
Stop.
I can't.
You better stop.
He's just hanging out in the corner of the studio, and every so often he'll sneak on a mic when we're not looking and be like, "Hey, I'm here. Remember Taxi?"
No.
Yeah, me either. I was on drugs. Bye.
Well, I was tanking those dungeons, and I was such a good tank, I didn't take any damage. Right, Immune? Right? You were healing.
Honestly, most of the time you didn't really. Most of the time you did more healing than I did, but there were definitely times when we all should have died because we pulled almost the entirety of Freehold during that one pull.
And that fight just lasted for so long because we kept getting knocked into the air and knocked back and stunned. And there was, 50 mobs in there that we just had to plow through?
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, obviously it ended up okay. It was a Mythic Zero, but I was like, oh no, we pulled a couple accidental guys. And then I saw Slidewhistle yank 6 more guys in. I'm like, wait, no, he's doing this on purpose. There's 78 guys now, and he's invited them all to the party.
I kind of love blood tanking. I'm just always afraid to tank for random people because I hate getting into fights. No, I love getting into fights, but I hate when the fights impede the dungeon progress. That's what I hate.
But yeah, that was about all I did this week in WoW. Aaron, how about you?
This week in the World of Warcraft was all about getting Cubby Bub raid ready.
Whoa, is she?
Yes, she
What?
is at least 440 at this point.
Does
how's her cape?
she have her cape?
She does. She just got her cape today.
Those are the only requirements I believe Kat has said.
Wait, but what level's her cape? She has to tell her to get it upgraded as much as she can right now during this time.
I certainly will. I don't think she'll be joining us tonight, but she does want to join eventually, although a rupture has formed because she'll be like, how do I fight this boss? And I'm like, oh, this. She's like, yeah, but what about melee? And I'm like, fuck it, I don't do melee.
Neither do I, but Slide does.
I was like, I can't give you hints. She's like, you're not helping. I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
What fights was it? What was she fighting that she needed help on?
Just random fights. There was the big tentacle in the Halls of Origination. She asked me for some help, and I was like, I don't know. And it ended up, the solution was just don't get right next to him. You can hit his hitbox from the platform. It was just a bunch of stuff where I was like, I mean, I haven't thought about it. I just shoot fireballs from 70 yards away.
I feel like the answer normally is to just group up with all their melee, and you normally just go on the side of the boss that isn't the front, unless it's a dragon, right?
That's kind of fun. She has to still kind of make her own information about these fights because, being a new player and all, it's hard. And it just makes it more rewarding at the end when she figures out how the fuck to beat these melee bosses that you're like, ugh.
Mm-hmm. But it was just a lot of hyping her up. We're trying to get her flying, so I'm doing literally all of the world quests each day. And boy, oh boy, there's a lot of them. I haven't done that for a year.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's probably good for you, too. You're probably getting, a shit ton of Paragon bags, and then that's a lot of money.
Yeah, have so many resources. I could just send them on missions for, the next year and be fine. She's like, yeah, let's do all of them every day. And today she hit 8.3 content, so we're going to be doing the assaults every day. And I'm like...
Aaron's like, I haven't done this much content since it started. Please, don't bring me back.
Also, I've been majorly lore mastering. I have defeated Kata, and now we're starting on Pandaria, and then that's it, gang.
Wow. This is exciting. It's been a overarching storyline on this podcast here.
Mm-hmm. Like every great story, it started strong, and then took a 6-month hiatus, and then because of a world-crippling disease, I'm gonna complete it. It's great. It's a 3-act narrative.
I mean, hopefully we have a good ending that everyone's happy with, not a fucked up one.
I mean, even though there's a pandemic that's destroying the society as we know it, Aaron will come out of it with the really cool tab ribbon title.
You know it.
What are you going to do after you finish Lore Master? What's your next goal going to be? Mounts? Titles?
Probably
Poopy?
just jerk my wiener nonstop for a year and not play.
But you have to wear the tabard while you do it. Like, make your own custom tabard of that Lore Master one and then just start wanking it.
Yep, I'll just be sitting there, little pins in my mouth at my sewing machine, and Cubby Bub will be like, Aaron, what are you doing? And I'll be like, I'm making a tabard so I can jack my wiener in the bathroom.
Hell yeah.
But Slidewhistle, what did you do?
I am loving this rep boost. I'm actually excited to log on and see what the emissary is because I am catching up to my other 3 mains in BFA. I am exalted with half of the reps now. I finished off Champions of Azeroth, I finished off Turtles, I finished off Stormsong and Proudmoore Admiralty. I just have Drustvar to go, and then Mechagon and Nadjatar, which are kind of closing the gap. It's insane how fast this catch-up shit is. So kind of like Cubby Bub, I'm out there doing not all the quests, but I'm targeting all the quests that give rep, because you get bonus rep for doing the quest, and then also the rep from the quest doubles up. So it's just mad fucking cash out there. And I'm a human, and I'm wearing contracts, so I'm balling out. I was looking at my Rajani and my Oldham Accord rep, and I'm actually like 5k from Oldham Accord and 7k from the Rajani from finishing that off. So I need to go back out there with Immune. Take me with you and do those fucking terrible assaults.
Like, that has been the slowest progress I think I've personally experienced in this game. I don't know if I will ever get exalted with either of them, and I don't know if I care.
To be fair, I do think part of the problem is we go out there in war mode, and since everybody is out there in both those zones, we're always fighting. We're constantly always saving either alliance lives, or we're getting ganked by 5-mans, or we're ganking lobies who then bring their friends, so it's a give or take, I think.
I still don't like the quests that are like, kill 6 elites, but everything that you kill, which is very hard, is actually a rare and not an elite, so it doesn't count.
We had one today where it wasn't even that difficult. It was like, find 3 caches, and Cubby Bub was like, okay, now we got to do that one. And me with my like lazy, like easiest path of resistance, I'm just like, or not. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, fucking, I don't do that one. I don't do the one where it's kill elites.
It's funny because like we're the same way, and I feel like we did it like the first time, or maybe like the first few times, and then we just realized that like the amount of time it took is just not worth it.
Listen, I did my time. I was out there on fucking Bludgeon doing every single quest on the day of release. I never want to look at a world quest that is not just kill a rare ever again. Let's see. I also was working on my druid. She's entered Legion. She's like 107 now. So like, I don't want to do Battlegrounds. I want to get her artifact appearances. I want to get her the quest unlocked and like all the rewards from the class order hall. But it kind of fucking sucks out there in war mode, because don't forget, the rep boost applies for both BFA reps and Legion reps. I figured out why there were so many fucking high levels out there in Legion.
What are they going for?
They want the fucking mounts from the Paragon bags. Remember how there's like 32 mounts that I literally have none of from the Paragon bags? I got no fucking mounts, and I'm so mad about it. So I was out there in Val'sharah on my druid. She's level 108, and this fucking hunter with 332k health, which means he's max level, kills me, and he's just hanging out in Val'sharah. So I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? So then I get on my Death Knight immediately. I did the classic, I'm gonna get my main, and I flew Alan out there, parked him over Val'sharah, and just watched and waited. And I think I figured out what's happening. I think everyone's going out there on their low people, and then some high rank person kills them, and then they bring out their high rank, and then it's a fucking cycle.
I was about to say, it's a cycle of violence.
Because I couldn't find the hunter, but you know what I did find? Some 107 level horde to take up my frustration on, who I did kill.
You're just a cog in the machine.
You're just as bad as they are.
I killed 5 horde people just trying to do their quests like I was. And what's funny is that like the guards there, the guards are basically just as weak as a player character at 107. So I just kill 2 guards and I walk out and I fly back over and I wait. But after I kill all those horde people, nobody came up to fight me. But there was one instance where I was the ultimate bad guy. Like, I don't think I've ever been more of a bad guy than I was in Val'sharah.
What did you do?
So I was questing on my druid, and it was the quest where you have to kill that big nasty goat in the underground area. You have to free like a night elf and kill the big bad goat guy or whatever. And I was down there, and a horde feral druid was attacking the boss. But he wasn't doing very much damage. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just start attacking the druid, and I'll steal his kill and get the boss. You know, it's war mode, it's fine. And so as I'm hitting him with fucking Lunar Strike and all my spells, another Alliance Moomkin walks up next to me, and I'm like, hey, help me out here. And he just stares at me, and he doesn't help me. And I said, you need to help me right now, or I'm going to frame you. He didn't respond. So I kept blasting the druid with my abilities, and then once the boss got to very low health, I used Shadow Meld and went invisible.
Oh no.
So the feral druid turns around and all he sees is a boomkin, and he knows he was being hit by boomkin abilities. So he immediately attacks the Alliance boomkin. And as the Alliance boomkin is dying, I am invisible, just saying, you should have helped me. This is your fault. You did this. You could have saved yourself. And I was literally taunting the Alliance, man.
Was it in whispers? Like, couldn't the horde person see like your Google gobble in /say?
He could have, but maybe he just didn't. I think he was just so mad that he was just trying to kill the Alliance boomkin. He didn't even stop to look around or anything. So the boomkin dies, and I said, you deserved this. And then I ran away. I felt kind of bad, but also it feels good to be bad sometimes. I was happy that the framing actually worked. Like, I thought for sure the druid would have seen me hitting him, because I wasn't in boomkin form. I'm in my little blue pretty form. So like, if he just looked for a second, he would see that it wasn't that guy hitting him. But I don't know.
Maybe he was just annoyed that Alliance was attacking him, so he just took it out on any Alliance that was near him.
I don't know how that goes.
What was the boomkin doing this whole time? Just like picking his nose?
You know, I don't know.
Did he even fight back?
No, and so instead of using his spells, he went into like his feral form and just ran around and tried to hide. He didn't even try to fight the guy. And I'm like, if you don't try, he's just gonna kill you. Because he wasn't even trying to leave the cave. He was just running in circles in the cave. And I'm like, this is a really bad plan. So maybe like he wasn't paying attention to like me saying, hey, help me out here. But I don't know. Let that be a lesson to you, unnamed boomkin of Dalaran. Because I forgot his name, so I don't know what his name is.
So something interesting that happened this week in our raid sphere was that we are now officially Mythic Raiders this tier, boys.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
We are officially 1 out of 12 Mythic. Nyalotha, we downed Raytheon on Mythic. You know it's true.
I got that tattooed on my body because you know we're never getting 2 out of 12 Mythic.
Hell yeah, bitch. Because Kata doesn't want to go back in. Because she says it was awful to raid lead and she never wants to do it again. And I was like,
so
that's
who's
fair.
raid leading now?
No, she doesn't want to raid lead a Mythic Raytheon fight.
I see.
And I was like, that's fair. But also, killing Mythic Raytheon was probably the most accomplished I felt this tier since we had the N'Zoth kill kind of stolen from us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was nice because what was the last Mythic boss we downed in the AOTC cutting edge window?
We killed an
We
Uldir.
did Mythic.
Oh, Talik?
Is that his name?
No, we've also done Mythic random trolls at the beginning of Battle for Dazar'alor.
Yep. Mythic random trolls. Oh my god, Crusade of something, light something. Yeah, the fucking ugly bitches.
Yeah, so I guess like it's not uncommon for us to down the first boss in Mythic, but you know, it's always exciting that we can say we are now officially Mythic Raiders, and Slide over in the recruitment department has noticed a little bit of change in people who are applying to our guild now that we are 1 out of 12 Mythic.
Yeah, so apparently with this Mythic kill, it's kind of sad. We are 71st on Proudmoore, and I'm like, guys, really?
Oh,
Seriously?
God. Is it just that literally every other guild is 1 of 12?
Well, that would be the case, but like every guild ahead of us has at least killed the first boss, right? But we are 71st for killing the first boss. That means that like all the guilds underneath us have not killed Mythic Raytheon, or maybe we just killed it so good that our ranking is higher. There wasn't any clarification on that part.
No, is that we were the 71st to kill him.
That can't be true. Is that that's
Proudmoore.
not good?
Proudmoore Alliance.
I
Come
believe so.
on.
That's horrible. Anyway, so we had somebody apply to the guild because they saw that we killed Mythic Raytheon, and they said they whispered to Honors, our GM, and they said, "Hey, I want to apply for your guild. I'm a holy paladin healer, and I wonder if I could join you guys on your mythic progression." And Honor says to us, "Do we need another healer?" And we all resoundingly shouted, "No, we don't need another fucking healer. We have like 25 of them now for some fucking reason."
Yeah, we definitely don't need healers because most of our healers are going DPS nowadays, it feels like.
And so then Honor's response to the guy, "Well, we have too many healers, but if you want to do DPS, you can join." And the guy goes, "What's even the point then?"
This poor man.
He wants nothing to do with Phoenix Fusion. Oh, Uno Mas. I forgot. That's our dead name. Whew.
By the way, when Cubby Bub was just playing, she saw a Phoenix Reborn, which part of me is like, okay, like Phoenix Reborn, that's like a standard name because Phoenix has come back. But part of me is really hoping that Crit came back from his 6 months in the desert and he said, "Okay, Misty and 2 other oldsters who stayed, we're going to spin this thing up again."
Wait, that might actually be like a thing, because remember Bear had all those random Phoenix guild names. He was like, "Guys, I have some really cool names. I have Phoenix Rises and I have Phoenix Rebirth." I'm like, "Bear, Phoenix is dead. We're not rising from any ashes ever again." So what if that is Bear and like a brand new guild he made?
Well, all I know is that the picture that she sent me, the person was on the Brutusar mount, which is far more success than any of those guys that I saw in Phoenix Fusion.
I don't know. Crit stole all of our guild money. He could probably buy that mount.
Well, why would he make a new guild called Phoenix Reborn? Oh, never mind. It's on Agrimar EU. Get out of here, Agrimar EU. We're NA. I'm not seeing nothing. But hopefully it's just a very common motif that it's not actually Crit and our stolen money riding a Brutusar to fucking flop.
So, just a little quick sidebar here. I just checked WoW progress, and I think those facts are true because there's only one guild on Proudmoore that has full mythic cleared.
Oh, is it
Proudmoore.
Is it, what's her name? Is it Formality?
On.
Yeah, it's Formality.
Honestly, Formality is a guild that I looked at and maybe joining when we were leaving Phoenix Fusion. I'm like, I could mythic grade, I think, but nah, I didn't. So Formality, if you want to scout me, I don't know, send me an email.
Wait, hold up. We're Immunization involved in that. Or are you gonna do a runner?
Well, that's why I didn't join, because I'm like, I can't bring 3 people. Like, it's so hard to find like, hey, we got 3 people here, because they were like, oh, we only need 1 person. And I was like, I mean, I could do it.
Boo!
I mean, think about this.
Dang, that hit me hard.
But I didn't join it. I'm still here, aren't I? But also, what if the raid days didn't conflict with our regular raid days, and I only brought over 1 toon? What's the difference? Am I right?
I don't know. You have enough tunes.
Right? I have enough tunes to leave all the rest in Uno Mas and to bring 1 mythical raider, and I can still bring that guy. People are raiding in our guild who are in random guilds. You know what I mean? It could work.
Insert drag rattle here.
No, it isn't a drag rattle. It needs a slide whistle.
I can't believe you.
Mythic Raffion sucked because I'm a fucking DK. We kind of glossed over the fact about how we killed him and what the pain was. But let me tell you, for me, it was terrible. I can't move. I got I got slow ass legs as a Death Knight. And whenever I get the fucking move out the lava, that's it. I'm dead. Myth had to give me 24 Lightfoot potions, which make me move at 150% of my normal move speed. I had to sacrifice my beautiful damage, to move faster for fucking Raffion.
Are you telling me you weren't able to shimmer a move which doesn't cost any of your movement points?
That must have been such an easy fight for you to just be able to stand there and cast and then blink out once. Shimmer out once, shimmer back in. Ugh.
No, I felt your pain on this,
though.
No, I definitely felt your pain on this, though, Slide, because I also had to use a Lori Lightfoot potion.
Lori Lightfoot, baby. She's the mayor of Chicago.
Is she the little lady who's in all the memes?
Yes, she's tiny meme lady. However, she also got a haircut during quarantine, and she kind of blew some smoke up her own ass for that one.
Oh, shit. That's really bad. Okay, this is a side tangent. As a goof 'em up, I grew a fancy mustache during this quarantine.
Wait, what?
And I was like, I had the beard, but then I had a big mustache. And then I was like, I don't like this anymore. And then as a bad decision, I was like, oh, let me just shave my beard off. I now have the baldest face and the biggest plume of hair that I've ever had, and I'm officially changing my name to Douglas.
Wait, hold up. You're telling wait. You're telling me that right now you just have a big mustache?
No, he shaved it.
I had a big mustache with my beard, but I shaved it all. Now I have a 5 o'clock shadow and a huge Ben Schwartz-esque plume of hair because my hair, despite the fact that I am not of God's chosen people, is full of Judaism.
I thought you just shaved your beard and kept a big Colterian mustache. I didn't get to see it. Do you have any pics of this mustache, Aaron?
You mean Douglas?
Douglas?
No, I don't.
What?
But I can tell you that I did not want to keep that mustache because every morning I wake up and I have a toasted peanut butter bagel for breakfast, and the peanut butter kept getting stuck in the mustache, and it would never really come out.
Gotta have your post peanut butter bagel shower.
Damn it. I would have loved...
And I always would, but now I look like Douglas. I'm out there with my bald face and my AR-15 on the steps of Lansing like, I need a haircut.
I would have loved to fucking seen that goddamn mustache. I entertained the idea of like, I'm not gonna shave. I'm gonna come out of quarantine with a COVID beard. And then I was like, I can't do this. My face is on fire. Everything itches. Fuck this. Like week 2, I shaved it all off.
I actually got it going on right now. I like have a lion's mane worth of hair because I needed a haircut before quarantine even hit. Like literally 3 or 4 days before we were told to stay at home, I was like, I need to get a haircut real soon. And then I just put it off and here we are. And now my hair is really long and I also have, Immune's version of a beard and mustache which is not a whole lot, but it's...
I mean, it's basically a soul patch. Basically is what your beard's going on right now.
Immune has a flavor saver. That's what this disease has done to the world.
Honestly, though, I think I think long hair is right now is a status symbol. It says, I fucking care about everyone's goddamn safety, and I'm not gonna fucking spread my potential asymptomatic diseases to everybody else. My coworker got a haircut, and I dragged his ass for 8 hours plus. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, because he could possibly be contracting it and spreading it to you at work.
If that barber is cutting your hair, who the fuck else's hair is she cutting? Lori Lightfoot?
It all starts with Lori.
So, I do have one more thing to talk about Raid, which I know is probably our most broken up Raid segment ever. But I went into Raid, on Heroic Raid, with a goal. I said, I don't have any fucking weapons to use for my Frost Death Knight, and I want to try it out because, I'm getting kind of tired of using my same DK for once I have every single gear piece for one class that I need. So I'm trying it on Frost, and I obtained 2 one-handed weapons. I've never had weapons drop for me ever in a goddamn raid, and Rathian dropped his nasty little sword for me, and some bitch dropped a mace for me. And I'm shocked and awed that I got my fucking achievement goal, and I'm gonna raid tonight as Frost, and probably do horrible, but goddammit, it's gonna feel so fresh and new.
That reminds me, I got my sword too, just a week after stealing Gandolin's wand. And I was like, I love this sword. And then I put it on my hip and I'm like, this is a little big. So I demogged it out. But thanks, sword, for giving me one.
Yeah, swords on your hips look so abnormally large. I can't stand them, unlike certain classes.
Imagine being like a female human wearing that sword.
Have a fucking sword like 8 meters long. Well, meters? Am I fucking European? What's going on there?
What the fuck?
You're joining Phoenix Reborn on EU.
Oh, Agrimar EU, have me. Speaking of Gandalin actually posted a new YouTube video. If you need to know how to get your Volpira rep up, he has all the hot tips on his YouTube channel. Check him out. He's a guildie. He has this very soothing voice. Very nice to listen to. And I don't know, he's aight.
Speaking of an e-girl who needs some attention, here's Growliina.
Hello, listeners. It's the Wolf of Westfall herself, Growliina. I'm here with Credience, and though she may be a bear, and I'm a wolf, today's topic is gonna get a little catty.
LOL.
Of all the girls of Azeroth, whose makeup game is just not working?
As Shadow's face is looking pretty well.
Say what? My girl EZA is definitely rocking it more than that. Her eyeshadow game is on point.
But her face tattoos are looking way too subtle. It looks like she's got bad skin and she's doing nothing to help those tiny eyes at the top of her head.
Fair. I admittedly was too busy dodging her laser beams to see it. But looking at a picture of her now, she's not exactly bringing her best.
I judge her because I care, honestly.
More of us need friends like that, Creed. Speaking of friends, I'm going to kick it back to my friends in the studio.
Can we get some woos in the chat for my girl Growliina?
Awoo! Ooh-woo.
Papega. I have a message out there for a citizen of Proudmoore. If your name is Pepper Cafe, let it be known I wrote your name on my board for unknown reasons because I did not write why I wanted to talk about you. So it's either something good or something bad. But either way, Pepper Cafe deserves some kind of recognition today. So if you know Pepper Cafe, please let them know that they did a good/bad job. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I feel like that shout out to Pepper Cafe sums up how we run this podcast. And I feel like speaking of running this podcast, I'm going to run us right into this Ion Hazzikostas interview that dropped this week. And he talked a lot about upcoming Shadowlands information. Some of it new, some of it stuff that we already knew, some of it stuff that supposedly we already knew, but the three of us had never heard of. Looking at you, Soulbinds.
Right?
I mean, who doesn't know about Soulbinds? Some kind of schlub looking at the webpage right now?
But I guess so we'll start at the top of this interview and we just work our way through it. One of the first things that was talked about was the jailer, in particular his model. And Ian kind of confirmed that the data mine picture of the jailer is the actual model of the jailer.
Ooh. And he is looking interesting.
He's got a lot going on here.
He's a Varamathras looking motherfucker.
I think he has this big hole in his chest. Is that supposed to be where his heart goes? What is supposed to be in that hole?
It's very Iron Man, you know?
Oh,
well,
it is
if
like
you
Iron
read
Man.
the interview and saw the Arbiter, you'll know that it's some sort of aspect of undeath, because most other leaders of death have their holes filled with cores, but his is empty.
Wait, is that really in the interview?
Yeah. Well, at least it was notated in there's a picture of him and the Arbiter. I don't know who the Arbiter is. It's just some angelic woman. But it's notice that she has a core in her hole, and the jailer's is left empty.
Oh, I didn't even see this other one. The Arbiter's pretty. Hell yeah, look at this bitch.
But do you know where the jailer is in charge of?
The mall, right?
Yeah, which is a jail, which leads me to this week's Time Warp! This week, you boys are going to have to name me all of the jails that we have visited in the World of Warcraft. Are you ready?
I guess.
Hold on, I wasn't. Okay, now I am. And go.
Toldagor, Stormwind
Shadowfang
Blockades,
Keep. Shadowfang Keep.
I guess the Maw, or no, Torghast, I guess, is it? I don't know.
Ooh, I have one in my head, but I don't want to give a hint or it's going to sit for me. Oh my god, I know, what's it called? The Arcane Prisons in Dalaran? Oh, it has a name, though. It has a name.
Oh, the Nexus?
Fuck! God, that's why I don't want to save a hit! Wait, no, is that the same one?
Is it? I don't know.
Shadowfang Keep, do you hear that one? I said that one. That's gotta be a jail, right? This bar's in there. Is there a Draenor jail? Oh, there's a Legion jail. You're a demon hunter.
Time.
Maiev keeps you. What's it called?
So it is in fact a tie, I believe. Immune, I think Slide, I think was first with Toldagor, and Immune, I think was first with Stormwind Stockade.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think.
Aren't there jail bars in Shadowfang Keep? That should count, right? There's some kind of jail bars in there, right? A work is gonna open something.
Okay, so my tiebreaker here on my official list, one of the old gods is listed as being in prison. On the count of 3, give me that old god.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yogg-Saron, Cthulhu.
Well, there you go. A Slide got it.
Get fucked.
Okay, well, I will drink a lot of this seltzer.
What other jails did we miss?
According to this, we miss the Arcatraz,
Ugh.
Barradin Hold, Barrow Deep's prison, prison of Imulthar, prison of Yogg-Saron, Stoneward prison, Storm Shield prison, Vault of the Wardens was the one you were thinking of, and the Violet Hold.
Oh, how did we forget that one?
That's the one. We had it. It was right there.
Yeah, that was the one you were thinking of, and then you said the Nexus, which is like a meeting point for the Blue Dragon flight.
Yeah. Man. I'm confident.
So I'm sorry to derail that conversation. I was just like, jailer model, jail. Which, by the way, in my head, I was like, that's going to be a weird one. Wowhead's not going to have a list for it. Thank you, wowhead.com, for having an article for prisons.
Yeah, that's a very weird article to have.
Oddly specific, but helpful for this program.
So we have the jailer. Back to the programming. He's pretty hot. He's all right. Oh, wait. It's not sexiest. I can't call him hot yet.
He was sexiest NPC once. It stands to reason if he will earn it again. Though I don't know. He's not my cup of tea, now that we can see him behind the shadows.
Yeah, I will say his shadowy figure was a little more enticing.
Now, this is interesting. Have you guys seen the height comparison of the jailer?
No.
Yes.
Wait, how big is he?
They really did my boy dirty.
Oh.
So Immune's staring at an image of the jailer next to N'Zoth, and he's about, I don't know, a third of N'Zoth's height?
Maybe even a fourth, I don't know.
And N'Zoth is a very tall boy, but also don't introduce an antagonist and then be like, look how small he is.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Well, also in that same picture, it also compares him to the size of the player character, so...
Now, they're saying that his sizes change frequently. No, but so is this not his current size? Because here he is next to the Pantheon, right? He's about, like, at their hips. He's that perfect ass-eating height. But then if you go down, he's at the Pantheon's height now. So I think they're changing his size repeatedly over and over again to get him where they want him to be.
I don't know. I feel like if he's going to be the big bad of this next expansion, I mean, besides Sylvanas, I guess, I feel like he should probably be pretty big, right?
And this also kind of leads into another talking point that Ian had in his interview. Ian said there's a connection and parallel between the Pantheon seen in Azeroth and the Pantheon of Death that rules over the Shadowlands. So you're telling me that there's like an opposite version of them in the Shadowlands that rule there? How does that fucking work?
Well, you see, Yugi boy, in the Shadow Realm, there are equal counterparts of the normal world's pantheon.
Everyone knows that for a summon skull, there's a toon summon skull, and a toon blue eyes white dragon. So surely there's a toon Amanthul.
Fuck, so Shadowlands is just Toontown? I didn't sign up for this shit, man.
They've merged the servers. Get your cream pies ready, gang, because we're throwing them at
no! I was thinking
we're throwing them at business bots.
I was just thinking of like the Yu-Gi-Oh card Toon World, but Okay, if we're like, okay, I'm also down with Disney's Toontown. Let's go. I'll have a few extra abilities, a little wacky, and maybe it'll probably increase my DPS. I'll throw some pies, throw some bombs, whatever.
Hang out with Goofy.
I like Do Not Relent because they make sure to let me know about all the other mid 2000s MMOs that didn't work.
We will leave nobody out, trust me.
Well, isn't Toontown back, kinda, right now?
If you want an MMO that's back, then try Pirates of the Caribbean Online and join my guild, Old Grandpas, because we're killing it over there.
Well, both are back, right?
All I'm saying is BFA may be an engaging story, but if you want a good story, how about a maple story? Join my guild, the Exercisers. Come on.
Get into it.
Yeah, get into it.
Okay, but let's talk about more of this fucking interview. What are we doing? This is interesting. So why does Sylvanas have a new model? And Ian says, when players join a covenant, they get special armor sets. Sylvanas' new armor is her basically joining a Maw covenant. Interesting. Isn't the Maw the people who we don't like and we're fighting or something?
Well, yeah, because she basically has had a deal with the jailer, who is a leader of the Maw, so it all makes sense. She's probably soul binding with the jailer.
Do you think she's been secretly grinding out Shadowlands dailies all these years? It's like, what, Chief? Where are you going? And she's like, I gotta go get 15 barrels.
I have to
gotta get my armor set for the Maw.
I have to do it before they open up in 2020 to everybody else.
I'll be right back, Nathanos. I have to go play Bejeweled in the Shadowlands.
And so it's like, so she joined a covenant, which is stupid. Now, this has been a hot contention point for a lot of whiny babies. So he asks, would you be able to change your covenant? The general philosophy is leaving a covenant and joining a new one will not actually be too difficult. However, what will be difficult is rejoining a covenant once you abandon them. So everyone who's like, oh, you have to join the covenant to get your best ability in slot, and it's ruining our player choice, you can shut the fuck up and just rejoin a covenant to get your DPS power instead of having your little fun and RPing.
And it also is basically just saying no take backsies, because you can't just very easily go back and be like, ooh, sorry, Stink Boys, you're the best all along, I'm back.
I feel like the Stink Boys are going to be getting a lot of that.
I'm sick of everybody being like, oh, they're really making player choice so difficult because they're making us pick a covenant and we can't change. It's like, people have literally been asking for this kind of choice for so long. Like, you have an ability to join whoever you want. There's 8 million abilities. You're never going to be the most optimized. Like, you can try, but I think this way is way better than before.
Yeah, and we've said it on this podcast time and time again. People will never be happy. They just want something to be mad about. I'm just happy that in Shadowlands, it seems like their big thing is giving everyone as many choices as possible, it seems. And, we probably won't use all of these things. They probably aren't the best things we could choose, but it's nice that we have the option to choose them if we want.
Hell yeah.
So another thing that Ian mentioned in this interview is the thing that none of us remembered. I guess it was a thing that's been in discussion for a while, and we're just the last to hear about it, but Soulbinds. So basically, he said that when you first join a covenant, you will initially have 2 Soulbind characters, and you can unlock a 3rd Soulbind character by doing the covenant campaign. And you can swap these at any time, and they can be used everywhere. When I read this, I was like, wait, what the fuck's a Soulbind? So then I looked into it, and apparently, when you join a covenant, there are certain, I guess they're follower type people, and you have a talent tree with them, and you meld your power with them and get certain abilities and buffs from them.
Which again is
do they act as standard Legion companions? So Stink Lord Jaraxxus, will he accompany me on the field and give me these buffs? Or is he just giving me buffs while he goes and does the mission?
So I don't think they accompany you. I think the idea is you have bound your soul to their soul, so they don't have to be present with you. You just have the soul binding that they provide you, which seems kind of not as fun as Legion followers, but at the same time, I think these Soulbinds are going to be usable in raids and in dungeons, whereas your Legion followers were not. These don't seem to be like that big of a deal. They kind of remind me of a remix of relics from Legion mixed with the follower abilities you had. So like for Druid, it's like high winds, Cyclone leaves the target reeling, reducing their movement speed by half for 6 seconds. It's kind of not that big of a deal, but it kind of is sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, it's very situational.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're also kind of set up in a tree form that kind of looks a little bit like the tree that we see when we're going through the horrific visions of Stormwind and Orgrimmar when we talk to Mother. It kind of looks a little bit like that.
But so, looking at the Druid ones we have on Wildhead, looks like there's 11 conduits, soulbind conduits that we can read the abilities for. And when you go into other unused conduits, there's fucking, 30 or 40 here that have names, but don't have any descriptions. So
Straight up, I don't use a conduit. It doesn't feel the same. You feel me?
I mean, but the Conduit 2 for the Wii, pretty good game. I think only I play this game here, so I can source it.
Damn. You really shut me down there. I was going for my no condom joke, and you were like, do you remember the conduit? And I was like, fuck.
I love the Conduit. I bought the special edition collector's version it was so bad.
Side note, and then we will return to actual business. Was that the one at the end where Abraham Lincoln and George Washington showed up?
Yes, 100%. That was what aliens were invading and the president saved the day. It's so stupid.
I'm very lost. I don't know what the fuck you guys are saying, but I am living.
So reading some of these abilities, we have like Chase the Sun. Entering solar eclipse increases the damage and astral power generation of your next wrath by 50%. Now let me tell you, I've been playing a druid. Those words mean nothing to me. So this tells me exactly the power level of these soul binds that I'm looking for. Very minimal. Oh, every third Star Surge deals 30% increased damage. That's pretty good. Probably.
It seems like in general, these things are just like across the board buffs, it seems. Like this tree that I see here, which is for the Stink Boys, the first one that you choose, it just says Arrogance, and it says you have a 5% increased critical strike chance against targets whose current health percentage is lower than yours.
Ooh, that's kind of fun. What I like the most, I think, out of the system is that when you put in the soul binds for the thing, they're all tied to a certain character that you meet in the game. So like here, I'm reading like a Theotar, who I watched Taliesin stream with. Like he was streaming and he met this character. And it's just like some crazy guy. And he gives you like a very short blurb, like some lore about them and why their ability powers you the way it is. So it's a lot more like flavorful than Relics or like the old follower system was.
Okay, before we wrap up this interview, which we touched on a few of the more major things, I have to talk about the most major damning news we got from this interview.
But the fact that you won't be able to use a controller.
Yes, you won't. They're not bringing it to Xbone. I don't know who keeps asking, but they're not bringing it to Xbone. And he gave like a legitimate answer of like, oh, it'll like be inconvenient or it'll be unfair. I was like, Ian, just grab your balls and be like, it's stupid. It's never coming to Xbone.
Twitter was a buzz about this. Twitter was like, guys, it's coming to consoles. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, you idiots?
But speaking of equal levels of buzz for nothing, he made sure to let everyone know that blue-eyed blood elves will be in the game, but they are only NPCs.
I don't know who wanted this or who asked for this or why they're there.
All of the boards. I can let you know, I didn't pen down any specific one, but having seen that, I went to the Blizzard forums. They are a trash fire right now.
Like, if they really wanted, like, blue-eyed elves, couldn't they just play night elves?
No! How dare you ruin my high elf fantasy!
Well, we all know how the three of us feel about blood elves, so...
I won't even go bashing. I'm even a guy who cares about the color of my character's eyes. But it's just wild to me that there's so much happening, either new features or new customization, and people are getting anus pained, butt hurt over like, oh, my eyes can only be green and not blue.
Yeah, I mean, like, they're all getting really upset over new things are being added. It's just like not enough in there, not blue eyes.
Maybe, maybe, what are we at? The one after this will be 10.0, right? Maybe 10.0.
Well, I guess it's about that time of the podcast where we start to wrap things up. So I'm going to bring us into our top toot, bottom boot, or medium moot of the week. Slidewhistle, what do you have?
I'm going to give my top toot to my 5 a.m. Metalazar 11 mythic key group that I ran it with. We crushed it, except we crushed it when it was way too late. Let me tell you, these bitches did not know how bursting Apex works, where you have to only kill up to 3, maybe 4 mobs before that dot starts to kill you. They were slam jamming everything. We had 7 stacks of this dot on us, and the healer was struggling to keep us up. We all ate our food, we all shielded, we used our own cooldowns to keep us going. We finished this fucking dungeon with 6 seconds left on the timer. I was like, Jesus.
Oof.
We lost the healer to fucking Yasma Spider bitch. And I'm like, please God, no. I don't want to have to lose this key. We crushed it, and I'm never going to run a key that last minute ever again. Except catch me here next week telling the same fucking story. Immune, what's your top 2 medium bottom boot?
Well, this week I have a bottom boot, and it is just me being dumb, basically. So I, this week, realized that there are achievements for having all of your essences being level 2, and then there's another achievement for having all of them be level 3. So I saw it, and I was like, oh cool, some nice achievement points. I can just like, because I knew that there were some that I like very easily could upgrade to level 2. I just didn't, because they aren't like the essences that I use very often. So I decided today to go through and just upgrade them all to level 2 and see what happens. So I upgraded them all to level 2, easy enough, and I got that achievement, and I was like, oh, there's another achievement for getting them all up to level 3. So I started to do that, and there's one left, and it's one that is linked to Call to Arms, and I didn't even know this. Like, I do Call to Arms pretty frequently. Like, every week I do at least one of them, but I found out now that to get the level 3 essence, you need 10 commendations of Call to Arms, but you only started accumulating them after you have inserted the level 2. So all this time I wasn't even accumulating any of them, and now I have to wait until I have 10 of them, which, like, what, you can get 3 a week? So see you guys in 4 weeks when I'm finally able to get this essence, I guess.
Oof.
Do you guys have that?
Yep.
Probably not on my account.
I needed it on my Death Knight. It's one of my best M+ abilities, so I farmed that shit out immediately.
Yeah, so I'm just mad at myself for not knowing this, and if I would have known that, I would have done it sooner, but I guess bottom boot at me.
Wah, wah.
Aaron, what do you got this week?
This week, I'm going to pull a slide whistle, and I'm going to have both the top 2 and a bottom boot.
Wow.
Each is a fun little story that happened today, and I'll be real quick because I know we're wrapping up. My top toot was, for some reason, at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, the Pandaria portal to Jade Forest shut down.
Is it still gone?
I don't know because I haven't checked on it, but no one was able to use it. I was there with Cubby. People were lining up, crowding, like talking in /S, like, it's broken, beta for Azeroth, what's going on? In chat, Cormac was like, why can't I use the portal? And everyone was like, oh no. But Cubby and I, because I'm a mage, were able to take my portal. And as soon as people saw me charging it, they started whispering me like, can you get me in? Come on, invite me. I need to get in there.
You could have made a killing. You're like, yeah, for like 1k gold, bitch.
How does
I
that
could have,
happen?
except that I was like, nah, we're going to go. And they're like, fuck you. But it felt good.
That's crazy, though.
My bottom boot for today is that Cubby Bub and I were doing a boss in Storm Song, which was like honeyback harvester. I was like, okay, we'll kill this guy. He starts making honey, and we have to kill like 70,000 mobs. We had to wait for like 3 to 4 real world minutes just killing stuff. And eventually he was like, bzz, 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 I made all my honey. And he left a honeycomb. I looted it, and it was nothing. She looted it, and it was a princess hat for a bee.
Oh, bzz, 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 bzz.
Does she even have a bee to put it on?
No, she ain't got no bee. I mean, I don't have a bee either, but I'm like, I want a princess hat for my bee. And now when I do get a bee, he'll be like, bzz, bzz, where's my hat? And I'll be like, I'm so sorry. And she gets to parade around with a fancy royal bee.
WoW just told you, nah, B.
And that was the whirlwind of a day I had with my top toot and my bottom boot.
Medium mute. Oh, wait, no medium mute. Well, with that, we're out of here. We gotta go pee-pee in the toilet. So if you have any fan mail, if you want to send us any suggestions, any DNR thoughts, if you want to yell at us for being too stupid or being too cute and intelligent, you can email us at donotrelenttpod@gmail.com or tweet at us at donotrelenttpod. What about you guys? Where can I find you on the internet?
You can follow me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at NewEraAlex, or you could follow our podcast Instagram account on Instagram at Do Not Relent.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, on Twitter at TheBigACheesy, and you can find our literary musings, where we write things, at livejournal.donotrelent.com.
We're out of here. I've had too many White Claws, and now it's time to learn how to play Frost Death Knight. See you guys next week, and remember...
The Claw.
The Claw.
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast of the 3HNC Network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.